Not only do we get the first Dominaria story from Martha Wells today, which takes place directly after the events of Hour of Devastation, there's also a huge amount of new information on Dominaria. Aaron Forsyth's article today was already teased at after the Dominaria release notes leaked online. Some of the information was already previewed, such as the removal of the words "to your mana pool" on cards that produce mana, the change from he or she to a singular they, and card text changing from referring to itself by the spell name to now say this spell, such as on the previewed Talara's Battalion from Dual Decks Elves vs. Inventors. Dominaria will also introduce 2 cosmetic updates, with the already previewed line between card text and flavor text, along with a change to the frame for all legendary cards moving forward. The article also clarified the Planeswalker redirection rules change, which will cause about 700 cards to receive errata. From the Dominaria rules update, Matt Tabak goes over all the big updates, a returning keyword, and a new twist on an old keyword. Tabak goes into depth on sagas, introducing a new card, the Flame of Keld. An uncommon for 1 in a red, the first chapter says discard your hand. The second chapter draws you 2 cards, and the third chapter says if a red source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player this turn, it deals that much damage +2 to that permanent or player instead. Historic is a new game term which refers to artifacts, legendaries, and sagas. Cards can refer to historic in a few ways, such as with Sarah Disciple, which cares about when you cast a historic spell, and Guardians of Koilos, which requires you to return another historic permanent you control to hand, including legendary lands. The section of the rules update about the returning mechanic Kicker provides a look at 4 new cards from Dominaria. Academy Drake is a 2/2 flyer for 2 and a blue that gets 2 +1/+1 counters if you kick it. Keldon Overseer is a 3/1 human warrior for 2 and a red that has haste and tacks on a threaten effect for an extra 3 and a red. Saproline Migration is a sorcery for 1 and a green that creates 2 1/1 Saprolines, or 4 Saprolines if you pay the extra 4. Finally, Vicious Offering is an instant for 1 and a black that gives target creature -2/-2 until end of turn, or -5/-5 if you sacrifice a creature. Legendary sorceries can only be cast if you control a legendary creature or planeswalker, which is shown on Urza's Ruinous Blast, a rare for 4 and a white that exiles all non-land permanents that aren't legendary. Finally, Hexproof is returning, but with a twist. Now, cards can have Hexproof from something, like on Knight of Grace. A 2/2 human knight for 1 and a white, it has first strike and hexproof from black, which means it can't be the target of black spells or abilities your opponents control. It also gains +1/+0 as long as a player controls a black permanent. For players that like to pick up a booster box from their local game store, there's a new incentive starting with Dominaria. While buy-a-box promos have been around for a few years, usually alternate art versions of cards that are in the set, this is the first time that the buy-a-box promo will be given out exclusively this way. Firesong and Sunspeaker will only be available while supplies last as a buy-a-box promo at WPN stores, and will not appear in Dominaria booster packs, but it will still be standard legal. The goal with this was to do something interesting for casual and commander players, as well as an incentive for a new format, BRAWL. In the article by Blake Rasmussen, BRAWL is described as a commander variant that uses only standard legal cards. The details of the new format will be shared in an article tomorrow by Gavin Verhey. If you're looking to pick up a booster box from your LGS in order to get a copy of Firesong and Sunspeaker, or just to get your regular box, you can now do so right after getting done with your pre-release. In a Wizards Play Network article today, it was announced that WPN stores will have a chance to sell booster boxes a week earlier than usual. Players can purchase more than 1 box, but the sales are limited specifically to booster boxes, not packs, singles, or other products. That's our show for today, March 21st. Make sure to like and subscribe to our channel to keep up with all the latest Magic news and strategy. I'm Jeremy Knoll, and this has been Split Second.